Now let's look at how to use Google Expeditions. In order to use Google Expeditions, you will need to download the app from the App Store onto your teacher iPad. I have already downloaded the app here, Google Expeditions. I will click on the app to open it. Once the app is open, you will be able to go through and view all of the expeditions that Google has to offer. There are hundreds to select from. If there is a particular expedition that you wish to try, simply tap on the expedition. Notice it says downloading. Once it has completely downloaded, a check mark will appear at the bottom corner of the expedition. Students will also have the Expedition app on their iPod. I will click on the Expedition app and I will click Accept. Notice that when this comes up, it may or may not have your expedition already loaded. There are some things that you'll want to do here. I'm going to click on Explorer. Notice it asks, do I want to be a guide or would I like to follow? I will select Follow for the student iPods. Once you have downloaded the expedition that you would like to do with your students, scroll back up to the top of the screen. Select the down arrow next to Guide. Are you going to lead this expedition or will you follow? As a teacher, you will lead the expedition. So select Lead. Now, let's take a look at the student iPod. Select Join. Notice the arrow pointing to the left. It says to place your phone into your default cardboard viewer. So now we will take the iPod, and just as we did when we were looking at Google Cardboard, we will turn the iPod and line it up with the indentation that we see here in the VR reader. It is important to make sure that it is lined up as best as you can so that the picture is as clear as possible for the students. I will secure the iPod by placing the section here in the indentation in the VR reader. Now you'll see the iPod is secure. Students can now place the VR reader up to their eyes. It currently says waiting for teacher. As a teacher, I need to begin the expedition. Go back to the expedition that you selected, click on it, and press play. Notice the words on the screen. You can read this information to provide details to your students about the picture that they are currently viewing. In their VR reader, students can see a 360 view of everything that is around them in the picture. Notice Mount Rushmore right here. You'll also find in different areas that there are beginner level questions, intermediate questions, and advanced questions. You can ask these questions while discussing the picture. There are also focal points that you can pick, and this will draw the student's attention to this particular part of the picture while you are talking. In the VR reader, students will see an arrow pointing either left or right, depending on which way they're looking. And when they have reached the area that you are talking about, a circle will appear, and that will let them know that they are looking at the area in the picture that you want them to focus on. Notice there are several focal points associated with this picture. To move to another slide, simply slide your finger and select the next picture. Push play. This particular picture, we're looking around Yosemite. Notice, again, there is new information to be presented to the students, as well as beginner, intermediate, and advanced questions. There are also several focal points. Notice on the teacher iPad, you'll see a smiley face showing that the students are looking where you are pointing. Also, an important thing to note on your teacher iPad, in the top right corner, it may be a bit difficult to see because it is very small, but you can see that there's a person, or there's people here, and there's a number next to those people. That tells you the number of devices that are connected and that are currently viewing the expedition with you. You can see if students have left the expedition if the number decreases, or you can see when students have joined the expedition when the number increases.